Welcome to today's edition of Drive Time with David and Dave. Often irreverent, sometimes informative, and occasionally brilliant, Morningstar's finest tackle the comedic questions of the day, which no one else even dares to ask. David Vallier and Dave Yarnes come to you each week from their studio in Fort Mill, South Carolina, near Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, if you've missed a portion of today's broadcast or would like to recommend it to a friend, you can hear this program at any time on the Drive Time with David and Dave host page at talknetworkradio.com. Well, now here are David and Dave with today's show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. We are here live from Studio 8 at Morningstar Ministries Heritage Conference Center, and I'm David Vallier.
I'm Dave Yarnes.
And Dave, what do you got for us today?
Hey, what a great time to be alive, first of all. You know, hey, I saw this meme the other day, like, I guess Frozen is a big movie.
Yeah.
And this dad, like the kid said, I want something from Frozen. I want something from Frozen. So he got her like a big bag of frozen vegetables and said, is this what you wanted?
Gosh.
It was terrible. But,
why would you ever do that to a little girl?
Well, it's fun to terrorize kids. You know?
It is, actually.
And we've got Samwise is out on hiatus. We've got Nate the Great in the studio today. So I want to finish a line. So if you maybe want to go back and find one of our other podcasts. We talked about the reasons why millennials may not want to come to church. It was really cool, really interesting, and we gave our spin on it. But this one is the positive side on it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, why do millennials want to come to church? Why do they attend church?
I'm interested in that.
And they say that it's very important. Like, these are the guys that say church is very important. Am I saying that right? And again, this is from our discrete source of statistics, the people who know more about stuff than we do,
and they're
.com.
Great source. They really
great
are.
source. So this is actual legitimate stuff here. So I'm going to go from the least to the greatest, like small percentage. So the reason that this number 6 on the scale, my friends are there.
Oh, that is a big one.
Don't you just want to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go to church on Sunday as a millennial because my friends are there. Hey, man, there's Jimmy and Bob. And now, do you think they started off with their friends being there, like they moved, or it just seems to be the proximity built their friendships?
I'll tell you what, I've grown up in church all my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do
you have any friends in church?
I have friends in church, yeah. And I've got friends in church, friends outside of church. But you know that my longest lasting friends are the church friends. I'm just telling you.
Yes.
And honestly, you're there with them, you're hanging out, you see each other vulnerable, like snotting in the corner when, the worship leader does your favorite song, or, you're like saying jokes to each other while the guy's preaching or whatever, and, trying to avoid eye contact. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's where true friendship is made. Within the pews of the church.
I had 2 things coming up. So, for those of you that know, I'm privileged to be the vice president here at Morningstar, oversee a bunch of stuff. And Dave does worship, but there's 2 things. Like, people wouldn't know this. So, like, if I'm overseeing and Dave is leading worship, he has to look at me and I come up on the stage and then I go into the rest of the service.
Right.
But every once in a while, he'll just look at me and you don't know if it's a false start or not. I'm like, he's into song number 1, but he did look at me.
An intense staring. This is the only
place. How do you cancel it? Do you blink really fast?
I just try to look away as fast. This is the only place where that's how you communicate that you're done with the song. It's so difficult sometimes. You're looking at the overseer and you're like, come on. It's like, what is going on here?
Maybe we could get some better signals. Maybe I saw this Major League Baseball player, maybe Nate, you saw this, like he got kicked out because he was stealing signs.
Oh.
But apparently he'd be really good at coming to Morningstar and teaching us, like down the sleeve. Across.
Go.
Hey, he's going to steal second. No, he's not going to steal second. Hey, he's got 2 more songs to go. That's what it is.
Pretty much.
So, my friends are there. Oh, you get it. All right, so going up the scale, why millennials feel that church is very important. Very. Keyword being very.
Very, very.
The church does good work in the world.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised that's not higher up.
Yeah, we're still down in the 8-10% range.
Wow.
Yeah, the church does good work in the world. So is it they're helping people in poor countries? I mean, is that what you think they're hitting at?
Yeah, I think the justice movement right now is
the justice movement.
The justice movement is huge. That's why I thought it would be further up. But I will say this: I think the justice movement is more in the like Gen Z area.
Okay.
Yeah. I think,
or as Nate pointed, or someone you pointed out to us, the alphas.
The alphas are crawling right now currently.
Oh, so they're in the crib. They're babies in the crib.
They're 10 and under right now. But like Gen Z, I think, is really into justice. They're really into like, you know, helping the poor and needy, helping people that are different than us. Millennials, Gen X, boomers, not so much. We're kind of like, you're either like us or you're not. You know what I mean?
Whenever I think of a boomer, I think of my great friend from New York, Ralph. So, you know, like if you want to know a boomer's reaction, just ask my friend now. Hey, Ralph, what do you think? What's in it for me? Right? He had these kind of like iconic answers. I'm like, yes, exactly, Ralph.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Totally.
So, I think that's cool. Good work in the world. You know, they find it being relevant and
they feel like they can put their hands to it. I think that's a big one.
Well, you know, like maybe like, hey, I'm really proud of our church. We went downtown and we helped get a homeless shelter together. I'm really proud of my church. We've got some wells in Africa. They're doing good work. So number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is again from very smart people that know more than we do. Surveys.org.
Yes.
My kids learn about God there.
Okay, yeah, so very family.
Yeah, so but I didn't know millennials had kids. Man, I am really old.
So
now.
here's the thing. I was actually just thinking that when you talked about millennials, you know, millennials are in their 30s and 40s.
No, is that right?
That is right. So like when
we got a definitive half nod from the control.
Yeah. So here's my
there.
thing. When everyone's like, "Oh, those millennials," I'm like, "We're adults." Like, you know, we're adults, have careers. Like, it's the Gen Z we got to start talking bad about. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. But yeah, 30s and 40s. That's us.
You know, and I think that's legit. Like I have a number of friends. I'm not just saying this to make good podcast talk. I have a number of friends that they'll come to me and they'll say, "Hey, Dave, my kids are getting old enough.
Yeah.
I really feel like I need to get to church and need to,
right.
You know, and maybe they kind of see the error of their ways and they want to, you know, there's something about raising kids that kind of takes the bar up a little bit.
That's right.
You know, like
totally.
So let me go right along here because I really like this one. The Bible says to go. The number 3 reason, strong reason that millennials go, the Bible says to go.
Whoa, that's a shocker.
Yeah,
that's a shocker.
Like the Bible says to go.
Because like, I'll tell you one thing. If any millennials like me, I don't like being told what to do, so I don't know if I would say that. I mean, I get it as a Christian who follows the Bible and wants to, you know, obey and do the right thing. But I just wouldn't have thought that. That's just not my natural thing to be like, well, because it says to go, I'm going to go. I want to know the reason. I want to know why. So that's interesting.
To me, it's you would have to know more about the Bible to come to that conclusion. I do believe it says to go, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together.
I agree. Yep.
But it's not like the 10 Commandments or something.
Exactly.
You learn. Jonah, the whale, Jonah and the church. You know, I mean, something like that. It's not like a Sunday school lesson.
Right.
But they're like, no, God wrote a book. In the book, he says, I need to go to church.
Can I ask a question about this poll? Yeah. Is this just Christians or is it just anyone? Because I could see like anyone, like, you know, talking to someone who like kind of has a fear for God, but not really like, you know, walking.
So what this is a very important poll, millennials in church. And then the first section we talked about are those that are strongly, like, they don't go to church. They don't feel the church is important at all. This group, church is very important.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
And then that's a big thing for them. So, all right. So listen to this one. Number 2, I learn about God there.
Yep.
I like that one.
Yep. I like that too.
So, and no disrespect to your praise and worship genre, because to me, I would say I probably learn more about God at my level. I'm not trying to flex biblical muscle, but I've got my own internal study of the Bible. So, but I love praise and worship because I just can't get that at home. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of like trying to make popcorn at home. It's just never the same as the movie theater popcorn.
Give me that fake butter.
The fake oil butter.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I remember this Homer Simpson meme where he's like, can I have the butter layered? And the guy's like, these are milk duds. He's got a box of Milk Duds, and he's layering the butter in there. Nate, that was funny, and you know it. Come on, jump in there on that one. All right, so
I can see him laughing inside.
He's laughing internally.
Yes.
He's mourning that Sam. He's like, oh my God, I'm going to kill Sam because I have to sit through. So all right, so that was number 2. I learn about God there, and I hope that that's true. You know, because I think it's just vital, you know, that we're in a place that we take time out, we learn about God. We're church people. Mm-hmm. This is the number 1 reason.
All right.
I go there to be closer to God.
Wow.
There's a proximity thing going on here. So what do you think about that? Because I think theologically, us and the listeners might say, hey, you're as close to God in your bedroom or at your workplace, your marketplace, as you are at church.
I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I'm just going to be honest. And I'm like, hey, wait a second here. It's not about the church. But, I mean, I get it, though, because a lot of times, listen, people are busy. They've got very busy lives, and they can't find that point of connection. You know, it's like, you know, either they're at work or they're raising their kids or they're doing something else. And so that Sunday really, truly is the point of connection. It's like the point where they can, you know, touch the hem of his garment pretty much is when they come to church. So I get that.
Yeah, and I think what a cool thing. I as I was preparing, as we often do, we spend, you know, eons of time preparing for these podcasts. As I was preparing, it's the one as I was reading through some stuff about, you know, church and view. Somebody said, "Is it hypocritical?" You know, Christians have some, but I think, like, if you pick up the Bible, we're all hypocrites. Be honest with you. Come on, man. There's such a high standard in there. So if you say, Dave, do you believe in the Bible? I go, yes. Then you go, hypocrite. Right. Because you're not living all of it. Right, absolutely. Right. I mean, we're faking it to making it sometimes. Am I saying that right? Like I'm aspiring to be this thing, you know? Listen, I'm cutting back. I'm down to breaking 9 commandments. I used to break 10. And now, you know, I've got the, you know, I'm cutting back.
Well, you know, that's what holiness is. Holiness is just trying to be more like Jesus. It's not, it's not being like Jesus. It's you're making the attempt to be more like Jesus.
Yeah. Do you think that, let's just take me, for example, because I'm, you know, that's that New Yorker narcissistic. Yeah. Will I be like Jesus and then just leave the world one day? Like, because I feel like I'm on a high trajectory to be Christ-like.
I mean, Dave, if that's what you want to hear.
Like, I'll just be like, shoom. Be like, just take her.
Dave.
Hey, I felt like that in services sometimes. Do you feel like that as a worship leader?
I felt like that legitimately. I have felt like, what in the heck is about to happen as a worship in some worship sets sometimes? Like, okay, the chariot of fire is about to run through the stage.
Wow.
You know, there's been times for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, you know, one of the cool things about Morningstar is you get to be in a community. And there are, so if you guys, let me just give you a snippet of Morningstar life. Last night, I was at dinner with Rick.
Right.
And we ate chicken wings. Now, somebody out there is going to be like, how can you guys be man of God and eat chicken wings? Well, I think, like, you know, chicken wings, I'm being from Buffalo, we're eating chicken wings. And when we left, we had much more chicken wings than we could eat. Right. And I take them back, and I had to stop at Morningstar. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go inside because I know there are a group of people that want to eat these chicken wings here. And when you walk in, there's a group of people here, there's a group of people there. And as I turn the corner, there's like 4 or 5 youth ready to go to youth group, but youth group isn't starting yet. And I'm like, hey, guys, do you want a big pile of chicken wings? They were so thankful. And so, awesome. But there's so much going on here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Literally, you can walk around this campus any point in time, and you're finding stuff going on. But like, oftentimes people have like a word or stuff. Do you do that, or do you have to like kind of like just walk through with your head down so people don't bother you? Or?
It depends, David. Like, you know, on a day-to-day, Monday through Friday, I walk around, and yeah, it's great. Now, conferences and stuff like that, heads down more, you know, and trying to get where I'm going. But yeah, I totally agree. You can walk in here, you can find people you love, you can find people you're trying to avoid, you can find people, you can find everybody.
They're trying to avoid you. Yeah, that's
but it's true. This is a very lively place, really, at all times.
Very lively. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this one then. So I have a friend, and he is a legitimate rock star. Like, like when I'm around him, I can't take his picture and stuff like that, and that kind of thing. He told me that he actually went to a school that talks to you about how to interface with the public.